Friends and family, welcome to another video. In this video, I show you how I made this wig. Yes, I made it myself and I absolutely love it. So if you want to know how I made it and achieved this look, stay tuned. So I got this hair from her hair company and I got it in lengths 10, 12, and 14. The closure was 10 inches long. So those are the bundles that I got, and I'm showing you exactly the inches just so that you can verify and validate, and trying to measure it against my head. And yes, the hair smells terrible. I just have to say, I'm sorry guys. I know people rave about this company, but the hair smelled really terrible, and I actually was expecting the bundles to be a little bit thicker than that. But anyway, so this is the cap that I used to make my wig, and I needed something that would have holes in it, just so I'd have some air on my scalp, because I'm not used to wearing wigs all the time. So it has the usual hooks to tighten or loosen the wig as much as you want, but there are no combs on it. And so here I am fitting it on. And as you can see, it's pretty snug on my head, and that should have been a signal to me, but I didn't. This is my first wig, so I didn't realize that. But anyway, so they have that space at the top to put this piece right on there. So that's what I'm doing. I am putting this closure on that space that they had put on the cap right there. And once I measured where it should go on my head, I put it on my little foam head and pinned it in the right location, just to make sure that I am ready to do this. So here are my bundles 10, 12, and 14. And I am putting my plastic cap on first, just because I'm about to glue this. So the only thing that I sewed down was a closure, and then the last piece of the hair just next to the closure. Other than that, I glued everything else. So there are so many, wig making tutorials out there, so I'm not going to go into exactly what I did. It's pretty simple. I would measure, the length from nape to nape or ear to ear, and then just glue it down. I wasn't using any thing to blow dry the hair to make the glue stick. I did that later when I was done with everything. Then I blow dried the glued hair just to make it dry before I took it off the plastic. But I know people usually use a blow dry in between, but I didn't do that. So here I am, I'm still gluing. And at this point, I am just about done. I put in the pins to keep everything in the spot that I put it in the beginning. So now that I'm done, I'm going to sew that last piece to the closure, and then I am going to take all the pins out. But that's the way that I made sure that the hair stayed on this little mannequin head, because it's a light foam head, and it, things keep slipping, and I wanted to make sure that everything was in the position that I put it in. So that's how I kept it stable. And now I'm cutting that top part, where they have for the closure, the space they made for the closure. So I'm cutting it off because I already sewed my closure on. So I'm cutting this net off. And just be careful that you don't cut too close to the seam that they gave you. So now that I've put the wig on, I'm going to cut that lace in the front off the closure. And I'm cutting that. And now this is the wig done. Now, I know right here you can't tell, but the wig cap was too small for my head. But other than that, it looks pretty good. The other thing is I didn't like the color. It was way too dark for my liking. So yes, I did what I usually do, and I lifted some of the dark color off. And when I was done, I sewed in this elastic band. Since the wig was too small, I used this elastic band as an extension so that it would come below the back of my head and be able to give me a better hold, because the wig cap was so small, it ended up at just like below, like if you line up the middle of your ear from one side to another, that's where it ended, which is really bad. Anyway, so yeah, adding the elastic band really perfected it. It made it, perfect thickness and tightness and everything. And so now I am putting some concealer on the part to make it look more realistic, and it looks good. However, I learned another trick later on to use Scar Away, which I will show you in a different video, but eventually I did that. So anyway, now I am blow drying the hair since I had colored and washed it, and decided I'm going to tweeze the part a little bit more, make it a little bit wider, which will make it look a little bit more realistic, because the top of my head doesn't have a part that close together. So yeah, this looked a whole lot better. I'm all done. And I absolutely love this. So this is my self-made wig. So you can see that the color is beautiful. I am so glad it turned out well. And the hair is soft and flowy. And so this is what the original color looked like. As I told you, it was from her hair company. And this was the original color. So I lifted the color a little bit. I just bleached it a tiny bit to be more like a color 4 with streaks of, lighter color, not too bright though, because I didn't want to go blonde. I just wanted to make it something that's suitable for my skin color. So as you can see, this would have been way too dark. I wanted it closer to the color of my brows. So this is the original hair. I didn't dye this one. This is the color it came in, like a 1B sort of color. It had these little things in it though, these little pieces of, I don't even know, you see that white thing there? Yeah, you see right there? That's a bunch of it in it. I wasn't too impressed with the hair, I'll tell you what. It is beautifully soft, but I think the density could have been better. Let me turn around for you to see. I haven't looked at the back. I have not looked at the back myself. So you will hopefully let me know what you think. So this is the back. And as I said, it's very, very flowy, very beautiful hair. I just wish it was constructed better, because it really would have been even nicer than this. Very soft. So the end result is good. As my mom sometimes says, all is well that ends well. Friends and family, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you love my hair. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the very next one. Bye.